Yeah, since I'm up in the office, I decided to play with some tools that I haven't been using. But anyway, here's another tool. It's called a Cen Tec cable tracker. Basically, this is for if you have a broken wire and you're trying to locate it. So it's got this piece and this piece. They both have 9-volt batteries inside. So we're not going to see that. So I'm going to turn the power on. And the light doesn't light up. The light's not on. So just assume that all the wires are hooked up right. So what is going on? There's a break in the wire. Where is it? Well, it's under the dash. You can't see. But I'm just going to move this. There's the break in the wire. So now I'm going to try to hook this thing up. I'm just going to set this on the desk. Turn the power off for now. So I'm going to disconnect the power lead. Put the Cen Tec receiver or sender in the middle. Okay, first of all, turn this on to tone. And I don't need power for this. I'm just going to turn the power off. So again, we know the break's there. I'm just going to pretend like we don't. I'm going to come over to this other part of the tool. Let's see, they call it the tracker, the receiver. So I'm going to turn it on. Push the button. You can set the volume higher or lower or more intensity. Okay, so now I'm going to see if I can find where the broken wire is with this tool here. Okay, well, first off, this is the power supply now. So the way I have it is I just have okay, let's see, how do I explain this? How do I explain this? We disconnected, we're at the fuse box, we pulled the fuse out. I have this tool. I'm hooking one side of this tool to the one side of the fuse where in other words, the fuse used to be here. So one side is plugged to this side where the fuse would touch. One side is plugged to that side which the fuse is touching. Now the way I understand, again, I'm experimenting with this, trying to understand it, but it's sending a signal. That's a 9-volt battery in there. It's sending a signal this way and it's sending a signal that way. So let's see, I'll do it again. First we'll start over here. Now let's start right where the fuse would be. For some reason it doesn't send that much tone up back towards the battery, but this way. There's the break. But as I've been playing with this, if you have so let's say you're under the dash and there's wires all twisted all over the place. I'm trying to do this with one hand, it's hard, but so I got a random wire here that's going. Well, first of all, it's close. Let's just see what happens when it's close. So you can get like fake readings. even if you're close. Let me just hook it around it, make it even more intense. Do it again. Okay, so let me get rid of this wire somehow. This wire is just curly. Okay, so let's hook the wire up now. Let me see. Well, first of all, let me just say this. To use this tool, I mean, I haven't completely tried every possible thing, but if you have a broken wire and you can, if you have a wire and you can see that your bulb isn't lighting up or whatever, you start your fuse panel. You could trace it even if you can't see it. Reach under there, hopefully, because you see when they get mixed up. But if you could see the wire, you could follow it until you got to the break. But because of the magnetic field, it jumps right across and onto other wires. So you really need to be able to see the wire. Let's see. So I want to take this a little bit further. So now we're going to disconnect this Cen Tec. Turn this off. Okay, so we got the Cen Tec off. Remember to turn the receiver, to turn these tools off. I dropped this. So the batteries don't go dead. So now it's all hooked up. No broken wire. Turn the power on. I got my other amp clamp that I used in the last video. I'm going to disconnect this. We're going to zero it. I'll put it back on. Again, I like to do comparatives, so we got 534 and 517. Now what I'm going to do, I remember that number 517. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a wire, this wire, and this has only got 2 strands of wire on one end. Oh, by the way, if you use the Cen Tec and you only have 2 strands, it's still gonna read that the wire is good. So let me see if I can do this. Gotta disconnect this. Light went out. And this. Put on this and the 2 strands. Let me zero this again. I really need to move this away when I do it. Get it away from any influence. Zero. Put it back on somehow. So even with the 2 strands, we're still, the light is a little bit dimmer. And it's 513 now. If that makes sense. It's not able to draw as much current. The light bulb is not as bright. Anyway, that's the plus. Again, this electrical is interesting stuff, but it's just this tool if you want to find a broken wire.